average man, the astral incarnations or cycles count for little, but they are by no means to be discounted, and are relatively of more importance than the physical. In due course of time the astral cycles will be better comprehended and their relation to the physical. When it is realized that the physical body is not a principle, but that the karma-manasic principle, or desire-mind principle, is one of the most vital to man, then the period or cycle in which a man functions on the fifth subplane of the astral, the fundamentally karma-manasic plane, will assume its rightful place. It is so again with the mental cycles, and so with the causal. The causal cycles or the egoic cycles, which include all the groups of lesser cycles in the three worlds, correspond to a complete round in the cycles of a heavenly man. There are 7 such cycles, but the number of lesser cycles, included within the 7, is one of the secrets of initiation. The egoic cycles proceed in groups of 7s and of 3s, and not in groups of 4s and 7s as do the personality cycles, and the same ratio must be predicated of the central cycles of a heavenly man and of a solar logos. The monadic cycles proceed in groups of 1s and of 3s as do the basic cycles of those great entities of which man is the microcosmic reflection. If the general concept here laid down is studied in relation to the schemes and other forms of manifestation to each other, and if the microcosm himself is studied as the clue to the whole, some idea will begin to permeate the mind as to the purpose underlying all these manifestations. It should be borne also in mind that just as the average man in each incarnation achieves 3 objects. 1. The development of consciousness or the awakening of the faculty of awareness. 2. The achievement of a certain proportion of permanent faculty, or the definite increase of the content of the causal body. 3. The making of karma, or the setting in motion, by action, of causes, which necessitate certain unavoidable effects, so a heavenly man at one stage of his evolution does the same. As man progresses and, as he enters upon the probationary path and the subsequent path of initiation, he succeeds in bringing about some further noticeable developments. 1. As before, his consciousness expands, but he begins to work intelligently from above and does not work blindly on the lower planes. 2. The building of the causal body is carried to full completion, and he begins next to shatter what he earlier wrought, and to destroy the temple so carefully constructed, finding it too to be a limitation. 3. He ceases to make karma in the 3 worlds, but begins to work it off, or, literally, to wind up his affairs. So do the heavenly men, for they likewise have a cosmic path to tread, analogous to that trodden by man, as he nears the goal of his endeavor. Again we can with exactitude carry the concept further still, and predicate action of a similar nature by the solar logos. The consideration of this question is nearly concluded, and it must be apparent that the relation between the aforementioned manifestations is of a psychic nature, using the word psychic in its true sense, as having reference to the psyche, or soul, or consciousness, and deals with the gradual expansion of soul knowledge in a heavenly man. A word of warning should here be sounded. Though all these cosmic beings find in man a reflection of their own nature, yet the analogy of resemblance must not be pushed to extremity. Man reflects, but he reflects not perfectly. Man is evolving, but he is not occupied with the same problems in exact detail as are the perfected Manasaputras. Man aims at becoming a divine Manasaputra, or perfected son of mind, showing forth all the powers inherent in mind, and thus becoming like unto his monadic source, a heavenly man. A heavenly man has developed manas, and is occupied with the problem of becoming a son of wisdom, not inherently but in full manifestation. A solar logos is both a divine Manasaputra and likewise a dragon of wisdom, and his problem concerns itself with the development of the principle of cosmic will, which will make him what has been called a lion of cosmic will. Throughout all these graded manifestations the law holds good, and the lesser is included in the greater. Hence the need for the student to preserve with care a due sense of proportion, a discrimination as to time in evolution, and a just appreciation of the place of each unit within its greater sphere. Having sounded this note of warning, we can now proceed with the concluding remarks and this final question. It has been stated that a mystery lies hid in the 777 incarnations. This figure provides room for much speculation. 12,119. It should be pointed out that it does not hold the number of a stated cycle of incarnations through which a man must pass, but holds the key to the three major cycles previously mentioned. Primarily this number applies to the planetary logos of our scheme and not so much to other schemes. Each heavenly man has his number, and the number of our heavenly man lies hid in the above three figures, just as 666 and 888 holds the mystery hid of two other heavenly men. This number 777 is also the number of transmutation, which is the fundamental work of all the heavenly men. The basic work of man is accumulation and acquisition, or the acquiring of that which must later be transmuted. The work of transmutation, or the true cycle of 777, commences on the probationary path, and is definitely the activity of a heavenly man being realized and responded to by the cells in his body. Only when his body has reached a certain vibratory movement can he truly influence the individual cells. This work of transmuting cell activity was begun on this planet during the last root race, and the divine alchemy proceeds. The progress made is as yet but small, but each transmuted conscious cell increases the speed and the accuracy of the work. Time alone is needed for the completion of the work. In connection with this matter of transmutation comes the legend of the Philosopher's Stone, which is literally the application of the rod of initiation, in one sense. Division A, Manas or mind and its nature. I. Three manifestations of Manas. I. Some definitions of Manas. 1. Manas is the fifth principle. 2. Manas is electricity. 3. Manas is that which produces cohesion. 4. Manas is the key opening the door into the fifth kingdom. 5. Manas is the synthetic vibration of 5 rays. 6. Manas is the intelligent will or ordered purpose of an existence. We enter now upon a very important division of our subject, and take up for consideration the fire of mind, cosmically, systemically, and humanly considered. We have dealt with the fire of matter, and studied for a while its purpose, origin and work. We considered somewhat the factor of consciousness, and saw that the great work of the solar logos, with all included, manifesting lives, was the development of a conscious control, and a psychic awareness within certain set limits. Having laid down these preliminary foundation thoughts, we need now to block out, for the sake of clarity, the mass of material that is available on the subject of the Manasic fire, which is the animating principle of consciousness itself. Let us first of all get one broad general outline, and then proceed to fill in the details. I. Three manifestations of Manas. 12,221. The fire of mind, cosmically considered. 2. The fire of mind viewed systemically. 3. The fire of mind in connection with the human being. In other words, what we are endeavoring to do is to study mind in the solar logos, a planetary logos and in the microcosm. Each of these three main divisions may be dealt with under 4 lesser heads which may be expressed as follows. A. The origin of cosmic, systemic and microcosmic mind. B. The place of mind in evolution in all 3 cases. C. The present stage of development of mind in each of the 3 groups. D. The future of mind, or of Manasic unfoldment. When we have taken up these points, we should have a clearer idea as to the purpose and place of the fire of the intelligence, and should be able accurately to comprehend its correlating synthetic work. Before, however, following up these ideas, it might prove of value to us if we sought to define this principle of menace and see what is already understood by it. II definitions of menace or mind. 1. Menace, as we already know, is the fifth principle. Here enter in certain factors and analogies that it would be of profit to us to mention at this juncture. This fifth principle embodies the basic vibration of the fifth plane, either cosmically or systemically considered. A certain sound of the logoic word, when it reaches the mental plane, causes a vibration in the matter of that plane, arrests its tendency to dissipate, causes it to take spheroidal form, and builds it literally into a body which is held in coherent shape by a mighty Deva entity, the Raja Lord of the mental plane. Exactly the same procedure ensued on cosmic levels, when a still mightier sound was uttered by the one about whom naught may be said, and the utterance of this caused a vibration on the fifth cosmic plane. Certain great entities became active, including such relatively unimportant beings as our solar logos and his group. This fifth principle is the distinctive coloring of a particular group of solar logoi on the causal level of the cosmic mental, and is the animating factor of their existence, the reason of their manifesting through various solar systems, and the great will to be that brings them forth into objectivity. Menace has been defined as mind, or that faculty of logical deduction and reasoning, and of rational activity that distinguishes man from the animals. Yet it is something much more than that, for it underlies all manifestation, and the very shape of an amoeba, and the discriminative faculty of the lowest atom, or cell, is actuated by mind of some kind or another. It is only as the place of that discriminating cell, or atom within its greater sphere is apprehended, and recognized, that any clear conception will be gained of what that coherent rational inclusive mentality may be. 2. Menace is electricity. 12,321 The fire of mind is fundamentally electricity, shown in its higher workings, and not considered so much as force in matter. Electricity in the solar system shows itself in 7 major forms, which might be expressed as follows. Electricity on the first plane, the logoic or divine, demonstrates as the will to be, the primary aspect of that force which eventually results in objectivity. Cosmically considered, it is that initial impulse or vibration, which emanates from the logoic causal body on the cosmic mental plane, and makes contact with the first cosmic etheric, or the solar plane of body. Electricity on the monadic plane demonstrates as the first manifestation of form, as that which causes forms to cohere. Matter, electrified by fire by friction, and the electric fire of spirit meet and blend, and form appears. Form is the result of the desire for existence, hence the dynamic fire of will is transmuted into the burning fire of desire. I would call attention to the choice of those two phrases, which might also be expressed under the terms dynamic electrical manifestation, burning electrical manifestation. Here on the second